Hello and welcome. Mission 18, Part 2. Mission 18 Reloaded. As you can see there, Agent 4 has the stealth skin. We picked up a couple of missions back. I never mentioned what the stealth skin actually does. And I had to find this out on the internet. I don't know why I bothered looking into it, but there you go. Yeah, what it does is weapons will not be able to get a lock on your agent 50% of the time. So weapons that use weapon locks, such as launchers, will miss half the time they fire at you, which can be pretty useful, and I think you will actually see that in this level, because there are quite a few enemies that have launchers in them. We finished researching our plasma lens, as you can see, so we'll just pick a new item, and that's good because we're going to be using plasma lenses quite a lot in this level. They are very useful for taking out vehicles.
Initiating drone connection.
Selected.
So we're into the mission, obviously, and now just put on our launchers immediately. There is a bunch of punks hiding around these buildings here, and they are all armed with plasma lances. So you don't want to get too close to them. I suppose you could just rush in and use your sniper rifles on them, but it's easier and more satisfying to just blow the crap out of them with your launchers. If the rockets don't kill them, then the collapsing buildings will, and once they're dead, then you can just rush forward and make sure that everybody picks up the plasma lance. And once we've cleared out that area, we'll just use our long-range rifles. Okay, yeah, there's a tank with a whole load of punks and a bunch more punks, all standing in formation, which is not like them at all. So they seem to have become militarized. There's a couple more tanks, which you just saw, and then this train track, flying vehicle hovering around it, and then at the top there's a station there with a bunch more punks hovering around it.
Selected.
So we'll just stay here for the moment, or just stay in this area rather. We want to get rid of these punks that are milling around. Yeah. And we want to attract the flying cars and get rid of them next. There are 3 flying cars that you need to get rid of, and they are all armed with launchers. Here's one of them. So, I think you just saw there, one of the rockets flew off in the wrong direction. I think that was because Agent 4 had the stealth skin. So, yeah, it's proving its worth. But, yeah, the plasma lances, as you'll see, make incredibly short work of vehicles. So just use fully charged plasma shots, as you can charge it up like a pulse laser. And if you can try not to get hit by the rockets as well, then that's all good. Okay, so here's the last one, and he's dead immediately. Yeah, plasma lance is incredibly powerful against all types of vehicles, really. So, yeah, they're definitely the weapon of choice for dealing with vehicles from this point.
Selected.
Pick off a few more stragglers. At them all. Okay, the next group we're going to get rid of is in this bike that's just up this road. So, the bike's full of unguided, and they are all armed with plasma lances. So you don't want to get too close to them because they can kill your agents quite easily with that weapon. So just hang back and use your sniper rifles to pick them off at a distance, and then switch to the plasma lances just to get the last 1 or 2 unguided. You can see Agent 4 is taking a bit of a beating from that plasma lance. It's such a powerful weapon. And once you've got rid of these unguided in the bike... Oh, who's shooting me? Ah, you bastard. Very nearly a problem there. But I managed to recover, thankfully. Yeah, the tanks will come after you just after you've dealt with the punks in the bike. I think the best strategy is to just rush forward and use fully charged plasma lance shots on the tanks, and it won't last very long.
Selected.
Okay, the next thing we're going to do, just because we're in a destructive mood, is take out this bridge here. A few volleys from your launchers should bring it down, and there it goes. This isn't just for no reason at all, because if we look further up here, it's killed all those punks there next to the station. Well, it's killed most of them. There's still a couple that survived, but yeah, kind of a chain reaction type thing, similar to what we did in the previous level, or that level where we had to kill the woman. You just bring down the entire train track and it kills a whole bunch of people.
Trigger wire.
Okay, so at this point we now have to deal with that tank and the squad in front of it. There is a way to do this which makes things a lot easier. Bear in mind, as soon as you attack the group in front of the tank, then the second group that's a bit further down the road will also rush forward at you. So you'll have to deal with both of those groups at the same time, which is why I think it's a good idea to put your agents in this area here, because there's only one road that they can attack through, and you can set up traps, just as I'm doing here, to deal with them. So we picked up the trigger wire in the previous level, at the end of the last level. You may recall if you watched it, and we're going to put that to good use here and set up as much trigger wire as we can. Eventually you'll run out of weapon energy, but at that point just switch to a different agent and have them set up some booby traps as well. I've just placed a whole bunch of ion mines, which are useful against tanks, but they can also vaporize unguided punks as well. So we'll also set up a couple of Cerberus IFFs just for some extra firepower, and set up a bit more trigger wire just to make sure. So everybody in guard mode with the sniper rifles, and we'll have Agent 3 who's got the nuclear grenades. Okay, rush forward and just lob a nuclear grenade at them. Hopefully we can get her. Okay, that worked pretty well. I think we killed all of the unguided in that group, which was pretty lucky, really. You don't always kill all of them, but you can get a few. I think the iron mine there vaporized a few more, and we've already reduced the tank's energy by half. So yeah, just rush forward and finish it off with the plasma lances. That particular tank fires rockets very rapidly, so you don't want to be caught in a long battle with that tank. You want to get rid of it quickly, and if it starts pounding you with rockets, then put on your super shield. Although thankfully I didn't have to do that in this engagement. So yeah, we've killed them all. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. It's not always that simple. However, once we've killed all the groups, then just take the flying car over, since we can't cross the bridge anymore. around. Okay, we'll just set up our agents here at the top of the stairs. And then get Agent 3 again with the nuclear grenades, because there's a bunch of punks hiding in those buildings down the way. And you could go and take them out. You could launch rockets at them. But I found it's a lot more straightforward to just chuck a few nuclear grenades their way. Boom. Yeah. No chance. So, it goes without saying that you want to stock up on nuclear grenades before you do this mission. So just look at your minimap to tell you where the unguided are. And if any of them do escape, then they will try and go up the stairs towards your agents, but with your other agents on guard mode with sniper rifles, if they do make it up the stairs, they will immediately be shot to pieces. So, I think there's a couple more unguided in that building there, that red one. So, let's use our last nuclear grenade. Boom. And I think that's them all. Well, that's all of them in this section anyway. Mission isn't complete yet. Or it would say mission complete, wouldn't it? So we just got one last section now, which is just up here. And we're going to make use of the trigger wire again. More punks around here, and then a whole bunch in those buildings down the way.
Selected.
Okay. Agent 4 has the trigger wire. Let's set it up here. Again, there's only one direction that the punks can go when you attack them. They have to go up this ramp. So, place a nest of trigger wire around the top of the ramp, and that should deal with most of the punks that make it to the top. Okay, my other agent's just picking off a few that get too close. Let the weapon energy recharge for a little bit, and that should just about be enough. I think we'll add in a bit more for good measure. Okay, that should be enough.
Selected. Selected. Selected.
Okay. I haven't grouped all my agents, have I? That's why it's not changing the weapon. Oofed. I completely missed that volley. That's the only bad thing about the long-range rifles. You have to be deadly accurate with your shots. Which is why I prefer just using the blue bars and putting them in guard mode. Ah, they made it through, those bastards. I must have forgotten the end bits. Never mind. They're not too much trouble. Ah, she walked into it. Ah, there we go. So it is pretty useful. Who's left? It's going to be somebody in that building, isn't there? Yep. Okay, you can see the two figures. So,
Selected.
I think we'll just use our launchers to finish them off. And it's mission complete, hooray! We've killed everyone.